If you haven't seen my review of Bomb Rush Cyberfunk yet, you can check out the video here and get my full thoughts on the game before watching this video. If you have seen that video, then you know that I enjoyed this game very much in the gameplay department. That includes the recent update which fixed a number of bug issues, and they added a dance spot in the hideout. Thank God! With all of this in mind, there was one aspect of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk that I was actually looking forward to heading towards the game's release, and it was the story. I was curious about what the story was going to be about. Was it going to be in a more serious tone, or something extremely goofy? If you see my video talking about the plots of both Jet Set Radio games, these games have some weird and outlandish plots with some grim moments and some surface level social commentary in there. He had a turf war, dog napping, undead mummies, robots trying to enslave you and make you play the most boring sport ever, murder, demon summoning, it had it all. Future actually spiced things up by giving the GGs a bunch of dialogue that shows off their personalities, and characters like DJ Professor K, Hayashi, and Goji having major moments in the game that really make their characters stand out. So, what route does Bomb Rush Cyberpunk take?
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Okay, before we get to that, let's talk about how we actually got there first. The game starts in New Amsterdam with what appears to be a breaking and entering inside of the police station. There is one prisoner inside of the station, this blonde pretty boy over here. Another character comes in and sees the pretty boy locked up. He's confused why he's locked in there, but figures he could be of use to him. The other guy frees the pretty boy and they both prepare to make their daring escape. This guy is named Trice, and he's part of the Bomb Rush crew. The name of the pretty boy over here is Foe. Apparently he's the Foe, which surprises Trice, but we don't get a reason yet about why this Foe guy is so important. The two end up meeting up with the police top recruit, Irene Rightvold, who is packing a giant rocket on her back to try and stop our two protags. Foe takes on Irene and the police force and makes them all retreat for the time being. Foe starts gaining trust in Trice, which makes Trice believe that with Foe by his side, Bomb Rush crew can be all city. Foe promises to join with Trice if they make it out of here alive. During their escape, a mysterious figure with vinyl discs spots them on the roof. The figure throws one of the vinyl discs at Foe, which leads to... yeah, that. After that crazy opening, Trice greets us and informs us that we're now in his hideout. He introduces us to his crewmate, Belle, a preppy and spunky girl who's glued to her phone, which is very relatable for people my age. She's also very stacked. Trice tells us that we were looking useless without a head, so he gave us a new one. A new cyber head, which is apparently normal here in New Amsterdam. Foe was pretty much dead after losing his head, and this cyber head saved his life. Since Pretty Boy is not an option anymore with this new cyber head, we need a new name, which Belle provides us. Our cyber head protagonist is now called Red. After showing us the ropes, Trice explains that he created the Bomb Rush crew with one intention: to go all city. All city means going to all the boroughs of New Amsterdam and defeating every crew to take their turf. Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? He tells Red that his old head Foe was one of the big three riders of New Amsterdam and promised that they were going to go all city together, and he intends to keep that promise. Trice wants to find Red's old head, but it's still unsure if the head is even still alive or not. But Red is determined to find his old head and find out the person who he once was. The man who cut off Foe's head was DJ Cyber, a man obsessed with the inner workings of the brain with a machine that can look into the minds of those he uses it on. He's one of the big DJs of New Amsterdam and the leader of the most powerful group in the region, Futurism. In order to get some information about DJ Cyber, the Bomb Rush crew heads to Versum Hill to take on the Franks. The Franks being these Frankenstein-like basketball dudes who are made of different body parts of people. After earning enough rep, the Bomb Rush crew meet up with the Franks, as well as their leader, the Flesh Prince, aka Bling Bling Boy.
I bling bling, I'm bling bling. You can tell it 'cause it says it on my ring ring. Got mo style, ain't no pest. Gonna keep rapping hard till I get through the test.
Anyways, the Flesh Prince is proficient in rebuilding people with what he has, which includes not only the Franks, but he's also responsible for giving Red his Cyberhead. Trice asks the Flesh Prince for info on DJ Cyber's whereabouts, but he's not willing to budge. Belle then strangely asks Red to follow her. Belle shows Red a garbage pile, which also happens to have another Cyberhead lying around, really showing that he's not too different from the Franks. Belle and Trice reassures Red that they can take on the Franks and that the code of the street states that by defeating the Franks, they can get information about DJ Cyber. This gives Red the determination he needs. However, that plan is put on hold when the way back to the court is blocked off for Red and he gets ambushed by the police and a returning Irene ready to take us on once again. Red defeats Irene and heads back to the court where the Bomb Rush crew challenges the Franks to a crew battle. After the crew battle has been declared, both gangs are greeted by three old geezers known as the Old Heads. Who are the Old Heads? We don't exactly get any insight on them in the main story. They are mostly just mediators for the crew battle. Most we can infer about these guys is that they were the previous generation's top riders and now they look over the new generation in a very relatable, jaded old people way. Anywho, the Bomb Rush crew defeat the Franks to the unfortunate dismay of the Flesh Prince, and now he must cough up information about DJ Cyber. However, the tiny gremlin still refuses to give the Bomb Rush crew information, which clearly doesn't go well with DJ Cyber, so he decides to bust in and intervene with his Futurism crew, as well as another mysterious subordinate. DJ Cyber lays down the code of the streets and declares that Versum Hill is now the territory of the Bomb Rush crew. While the gesture is appreciated by Trice, he reminds the DJ that they got some unfinished beef, explaining that DJ Cyber also broke the code of the streets by killing a fellow rider and requesting that Red get his head back. However, DJ Cyber clearly doesn't like being told what to do and commands Futurism to hold back Trice and Belle. This prompts Red to take on DJ Cyber head on, but is stopped by the mysterious subordinate. DJ Cyber and the girl put Red into the machine, which suddenly puts the Cyberhead in this weird dream world known as the Deep Subconsciousness. Red travels around in his head of this distorted version of Versum Hill. After reaching the end, he sees Belle and Trice, as well as his original version, Foe. Foe suddenly then pushes him and then the dream ends with Red waking up back to reality. Much like the Bomb Rush crew, DJ Cyber is planning to go all city with Futurism. The DJ tells them that he'll give Red his original head back if the Bomb Rush crew is able to go all city before Futurism does. The Bomb Rush crew returns back to the hideout to discuss DJ Cyber's challenge, talking about how being all city is the goal of every rider in New Amsterdam. Red questions Trice about what he knows about Foe since he was the one who saw him get his head sliced off. Apparently, Foe was one of the big three, legendary riders who ruled New Amsterdam. It was Foe, DJ Cyber, and another man named Felix. These three were pretty much like rivals, competing to reach the goal of becoming All City. In the end, it was Felix who became All City, all by himself. However, when he was at the top, Felix had been killed with no one really knowing who did it. Belle explains that killing is against the code of the streets, and it would pretty much turn everyone against you. Riders don't kill, only fight in style. After Felix's death, DJ Cyber donned his fellow riders' old masks and laid down the law to anyone who dare break the code of the streets. With a fire lit under him, Red is now determined to find out his roots and the person he used to be by becoming All City and challenging DJ Cyber. Before he can head off alone, Trice reminds him that they're going to do it as a crew, which Red is completely okay with. Their next destination is to clash with the new hottest gang hanging around Millennium Square, Eclipse, a group of astrology girls who love to boss people around. We are then introduced to the Chief of New Amsterdam, Chief Burlag. One of his officers shows him a file of Foe, whose real name is Tenyu, and he explains that he has some sort of hostile feelings towards other vandals and has a better understanding of their psyche, saying that he might be the perfect candidate for their project. Burlag recognizes Foe and even drops a tidbit that his father was also an officer of the New Amsterdam police. Burlag asks Irene what she thought about Foe being their candidate, which she advises against. Burlag takes her opinion into consideration, but he really means, yeah, I don't care what you think, and requests that Project Algo continues. Chapter 2 begins, and the Bomb Rush crew head to Millennium Square to meet with the Eclipse crew. The astrology girls retreat to their main turf, being Brink Terminal, with the Bomb Rush crew chasing after them. The Bomb Rush crew notices that Eclipse were talking to someone hiding in a trash can. After kicking the trash can, the gang meets Solus, who is very happy to be in the trash can with the girls around. Trice explains to Solus that they're trying to take on the Eclipse crew. Solus says he can find the girls for the Bomb Rush crew, only to be knocked up on the top of a cage by them. So now we gotta free the Angel Boy. After gaining enough rep and freeing Solus, the Bomb Rush crew is suddenly attacked by a sniper. By the way, Red pretty much just tanks the hit here. Red goes to approach the sniper, who is named Escher, who wants to know what the writer is planning. Red explains that he just wants his head back, which makes Escher baffled as to why Red would want his old head back. Escher reveals that he himself is a cyberhead. Escher questions what Red is even going to do if he finds his old head back, and that it's meaningless, with Red telling the sniper that he wants to know who this body belongs to and what his roots are. Red questions why Escher wants to stop him when they're both cyberheads, with the sniper simply stating that it's his orders. Red has a stolen body and it must be confiscated. With the two cyberheads not seeing eye to eye, they fight each other. Red defeats Escher, but the sniper quickly disappears after Red takes his eyes off of him for a split second. Trish just tells Red to forget about it so they can take on the Eclipse crew. So now it's time once again for another crew battle. The Bomb Rush crew defeats Eclipse, and now they claim Brink Terminal. Eclipse gives Red a warning that his future is not safe, which prompts Belle to ask the astrology girls about their future for going All City. Eclipse informs the Bomb Rush crew that what Red is looking for and going off city, they're both connected. Before Red can announce that they claim Blink Terminal, he starts freaking out and collapses on the floor to the shock of his friends. Red is once again back in the deep subconsciousness. Once reaching the end, we see a figure tagging up a billboard. The moment we see the figure's face, Red is suddenly falling down with Foe looking down at him. Wonder what that was all about. Escher reports to Burlag about his failure to capture the riders. He expresses some doubt since the riders don't really fight unless provoked, but Burlag reassures him that this is a field test and that it's complete, and orders Escher to follow him. Burlag shows Escher what looks to be Project Algo and orders him to meet with the Bomb Rush crew again, using the machine to help him. Red wakes up in the hideout once again with Trice and Bell greeting him. Red commented on how he saw Foe again along with another guy. Now the Bomb Rush crew had two burrows down, and the next crew to deal with is .exe, a group of cyberheads who upgraded their bodies to win breakdance competition to the point where they're practically cyborgs. The next spot to take over is Millennium Mall, where on our way there, the crew meets up with Solus again, who calls himself a claustrophobic masochist and tries to start to get sick of his weirdness. The Bomb Rush crew arrive inside the mall where they meet up with that girl who was with DJ Cyber, who refers to herself as Vinyl. Vinyl offers to show the gang around the mall to help them, but Trice is not quick to trust her due to her association with Futurism. The Bomb Rush crew questions Vinyl on why she's here and if DJ Cyber sent her. Vinyl answers that she's a freelance worker and that today, she's only after her own interests and not a fan of DJ Cyber's head-cutting business. Vinyl has her money that Bomb Rush crew can be All City, and Red might be able to get his old head back. She also states that she knows Foes personally, which catches the crew attention. Vinyl asks Red if he's seen Foe's head in his own mind, which makes the Cyberhead questions how she knows about his dreams. Vinyl makes a deal that if the crew is able to defeat .exe and take over the mall, she'll reveal what she knows about Red's true identity. After getting enough rep, we have another run-in with the police, but something changes about them. They start becoming extremely hostile with the intent to kill. After beating up the jobbers, they bring out a giant mech to try and take the crew down. After defeating the police once again, the Bomb Rush crew take the fight to .exe. After their defeat, .exe gives the Bomb Rush crew a warning to give up on going All City and that the police have a new project to kill off riders like them, Project Algo. Vinyl congratulates the Bomb Rush crew on taking another borough and is ready to explain to Red the truth about his head, with Red getting a feeling that his head is not really a cyber head. However, before we can get an explanation, Bell screams in horror at seeing the .exe leader dead on the floor. Vinyl states that he probably knew too much and says that he is starting to make moves. Seeing the .exe leader makes Red start having another dream. Red talks to .exe in his dream, who asks him if he got intel on who may have shot him, with Red replying that he doesn't have the tech for that, which confuses .exe because he's supposed to be a cyberhead like him, but Red says to him that maybe he's still too human. At the end of this dream, Red is standing next to the mysterious guy again, asking him who he is. The guy only replies to keep the ladder steady, which Red can't because he's up there with him. Red then looks down below him and sees Foe once again, with the dream ending with the ladder falling off. Back in the real world, Bell is sure that DJ Cyber is responsible for Red passing out like this. Trice tells her that they don't have time to think about it now and they have to leave since the police and Irene have just arrived to investigate the murder of .exe. Irene begins to question if that guy is responsible for what happened to .exe and begins to flash back to what happened at the beginning of the game. In this flashback, she asks about what happened to the suspects, with the officer reporting that DJ Cyber and Trice had escaped. However, when it comes to the third suspect, they show Irene that they have possession of Foe's head. Burlag tells Irene that using Foe's mind is exactly what they need to help them against the Riders, with Irene being against the idea with them not having knowledge of what else is on Foe's head. Burlag states that the vandalization the Riders do tells the city of New Amsterdam that they can just do whatever they want, and he wants to put a stop to that. He says he will keep an eye on Foe and tells Irene to inform her fellow officers about Project Algo. Bomb Rush crew arrive back to their hideout to find out Vinyl is also there and has gotten very comfortable. Vinyl states that she'll be joining the Bomb Rush crew, with Trice not exactly being a fan of the idea. Vinyl says that she can explain the blackouts and dreams that Red keeps having. She says that these dreams are memories that keep coming back every time Red conquers a borough, but the memories are not Foe's memories. They're someone else's. Before Vinyl can give the answer, Esther surprises the Bomb Rush crew and shoots Red in the head. Before the sniper can finish Red off, Vinyl hits him in the head with the skateboard and essentially kills him. Bell wonders how Escher even found them, but Trice brings her attention to something even crazier. There is a head inside of Red's cyberhead, a face we've seen before. Vinyl asks that Trice and Bell don't say anything about what they've seen, with Trice saying screw that and that Red needs to see a doctor. Bell suggests finding the flesh prints in order to help Red. Chapter 4 begins and the Bomb Rush crew is on the hunt for the flesh prints. They go to each region asking the Franks where their leader is, which eventually leads them to Matan where the Flesh Prince has gone into hiding. The Bomb Rush crew asks the Flesh Prince to help out Red, which he quickly agrees to. The Flesh Prince reports that Red just had a slight concussion and fixes up his cyberhead. While Belle is happy that her friend is okay, Trice wants to know why Red isn't exactly a cyberhead. The Flesh Prince explains that he just was given a human head and was told to keep it alive, so he put it in a standard model cyberhead. However, the head was still losing its memories, and Trice just so happened to bring the perfect body that saved Red's life. Red recognizes the face as the same one he saw in his dreams. Bell asks whose head is inside of there, but Vinyl advises against telling the truth as it would make the person using that body public enemy number 1. Vinyl says that he needs to get his skills back before his true identity is revealed, stating that Foe and All City are the key. Red, however, is not too concerned about the craziness going on. No matter what his head is, the Bomb Rush crew is what matters to him, and he'll take on anyone and anything who gets in his way. Going All City is still his top priority. The next stop is going to Pyramid Island to take on the next crew, Devil Theory. Devil Theory is notorious for being a bunch of rats who snitch to the cops. The gang head to Pyramid Island to take on Devil Theory, who does throw in a lot of cheap tricks involving getting the cops on them. We confront the rats who slander DJ Cyber about breaking the code of the streets when they themselves break the code of the streets by snitching to the cops. Devil Theory talks about a rumor that it was DJ Cyber who killed Felix, but we don't get to hear more about that because it's crew battle time. The Bomb Rush crew defeats Devil Theory, making them retreat, not before they say DJ Cyber will deal with them later, and that he has arrived. However, there's no time to ponder about DJ Cyber because Solus is here! He was just chilling in the bathroom because it's confined and it felt good, to the disgust of Trice. As Belle scrolls through her phone, Solus notices the pictures she took of Red showing part of his face. He states that that's his friend he knows under the cyber head. Trice asks Solus about if he knows about whose Red's real identity is, with Solus stating that that's his friend who died. But we don't get to ponder about that for long because we hear a scream from Vinyl, who appears to be in danger. The Bomb Rush crew follows the scream and sees that DJ Cyber has Vinyl captive and is not happy about being double-crossed. Red challenges DJ Cyber to a 1v1 fight, which the DJ agrees to with his mech. After Red defeats DJ Cyber, the DJ reveals his face and asks Red when he'll start to remember. This causes Red to have another headache and into another dream, but this time, we're in a completely different body. Felix's body. At the end of this dream, Vinyl tells Felix that she doesn't trust Foe, but Felix assures her that things will be just fine. We get put back on the billboard where Foe is holding a ladder while Felix is tagging up the billboard. Foe asks Felix why he doesn't use a boost pack like him and DJ Cyber, but before he can answer that question, he freaks out. Red wakes up once again, and the first thing he does is give DJ Cyber the meanest right hook. That memory unlocked Red's real identity, and he realizes that he's actually Felix. Turns out, this was all a plan from Vinyl and DJ Cyber from the start to help Felix regain his memories again. DJ Cyber reveals that he doesn't have Foe's head with him, and in fact, the police took Foe's head and are using it for Project Algo. Foe is using his knowledge of the streets to send misinformation to the police to try and take out all the other riders in New Amsterdam. They needed Felix back because he's the only one who can stop Foe. Oh, and Solus decides to join the Bomb Rush crew to the dismay of Trice and the delight of Belle. Back at the police station, Irene and the other officers come down to see that Chief Inspector Burlack has been killed. Irene asks Project Algo, aka Foe, what he saw, to which the former pretty boy states the end of all riders in New Amsterdam, and that he will be all city king, as the only one left standing. Foe then uses Project Algo to turn the officers against Irene. Final stop is Matan to take on the remaining crew left, Futurism. The gang head to Matan for their final crew battle before they go all city. The Bomb Rush crew is successful in beating Futurism, but there is still one more thing left to do. Red is technically still not whole without his original body. DJ Cyber tells Red to get into the machine so they can combine both the minds of Felix and Red to create a whole new self. Red meets Felix inside of his mind, and now it's Felix traveling through the dream. Felix meets with DJ Cyber in his mind, which flashes back to that night when Felix died. Turns out as well, Solus saw the whole thing happen. Foe was holding up the ladder for Felix while he tagged up the billboard. Foe asks why Felix doesn't use a boost pack, which Felix just replies he doesn't need one and he has the one wing. Foe comments how Felix never needed help and about how he went all city by himself, which Felix replies that he works best solo and it's no hard feelings. So in response to that, Foe kicks off the ladder Felix was standing on and watches him fall to his death. Conveniently in the same place the Flesh Prince, the Franks, and DJ Cyber just so happen to be in. DJ Cyber explains that Foe doesn't know that Solus was a key witness to the murder, but that didn't stop the police from arresting him. Things worked out in the end, but it's not over yet. Felix declares that he's going to deal with Foe. Felix's memories have now come back and he remembers everything, reminding everyone that Foe is in complete control of the police force, and DJ Cyber reminding everyone that Project Algo wants to kill riders. Unfortunately, time has begun to run out for our heroes as Foe has shown up to Matan in a giant mech, while also betraying Devil Theory, who most likely gave him the information of where everyone was. Before Foe can finish off Devil Theory, Solus stops him and starts remembering that Foe was the one who killed his friend. Solus naively reveals that Felix is still very much alive to the anger of the once former pretty boy, upset that Felix not only stole his body, but is trying to once again steal what is rightfully his, becoming All City King. Trice calls out Foe for being nothing but a murderer, with Foe replying that the code of the streets are nothing but a bunch of bull. Felix tells Foe that he's absolutely insane and that the graffiti is about competition and not hurting people, reminding him that graffiti wouldn't be cool if it was legal. Foe is bothered by the fact that Felix did better without him, so now he's ready to kill him. Felix defeats Foe, causing him to go falling off into the abyss. The celebration doesn't last long, however, when Foe comes back in a giant caterpillar Metal Gear type robot and grabs Felix. Foe rips Felix's head from his body and throws his old body into the abyss. Foe then kidnaps Solus with the intention of using his body. With Felix now headless, it seems like all hope is lost. That is until a returning Irene comes in with a save and brings in Felix's original body. Felix is once again reunited with his old body and is ready to take on Foe with the Bomb Rush crew. After the fight against Project Algo, Felix reveals Foe's secret that many others were jailed because of Foe's graffiti. Foe's dad was a corrupt cop who got Foe out of trouble and framed others so that Foe could have a perfect record of not getting caught. Foe whines that no one would have suspected him if people found out that his dad worked for the police, claiming he had no choice. With the help of his friends, Felix responds to Foe's whining and complaining by headbutting him, breaking the cyber head in the process and knocking Foe down into the abyss. Solus goes in for the save on Felix as he watches Foe fall to his doom, much like how he did when he pushed off Felix. The Bomb Rush crew is officially all city and everyone celebrates. Felix says his thank you to DJ Cyber before he leaves. DJ Cyber lets Felix know that he won't be all city for long and that it's not over. With that, Felix goes back to the gang to celebrate going all city once again. Woo, man, that was probably a lot to digest. This game is definitely more jam-packed than both Jet Set Radio's stories, and I was surprised that the story ended up being as detailed as it was for a game like this. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk had two main plot threads. The Bomb Rush crew wanted to go all city, and finding out the true identity of Red. Both plots go hand in hand with each other because one goal leads to the other goal. A different approach from how Jet Set Radio did its stories by having individual arcs, and I'd say it's to Bomb Rush Cyberfunk's benefit. Talking about what I loved about the story, the main trio of Red, Trice, and Bell are great together. Red Felix was given the Amnesia story, and usually in other shows and games, the Amnesia storyline tends to be a miss. However, with Red, I think they nailed it. Red wants to know who his true self is, but he doesn't spend too long pondering about it. He ends up building up his own character with his cyberhead like he's a completely new person. Even when the truth comes out that he's not really a cyberhead, it doesn't matter to him. He's determined to go all city with the Bomb Rush crew. I can admire that he was able to still build his own character despite not really knowing his roots. By the time he's Felix again, he continues to be the same character we've seen develop throughout the story. Trice is the straight man with all the plans and calling the shots. He's the one providing a lot of the comedy from his snarky lines when reacting to other characters, especially Solus. Bella's the one providing positivity with her quirky and silly attitude. She's always so chipper, and her hyperfixation with her phone is very relatable to folks around my age group. And it's not to the point where it's over-exaggerated either. She's not complex, but she doesn't need to be. She meshes well with Trice's straight guy nature and Red's determined nature. Solus is a weirdo. Every time he's on screen, he just brings this uncomfortable degeneracy to the vibes. And it works. He ends up making me laugh when he's on screen. He's just a silly guy. Vinyl is a cool character as well. She's very serious and focused about getting things done. She does have a pretty awesome moment where she kills Escher. She's not very deep, but she's still pretty cool in my eyes. One character I thought was very interesting was Irene. Compared to Onishima and Hayashi, who were just crazy dudes who listened to their boss while breaking every law possible to kill the Rudies, Irene, in her eyes, is abiding by the law and just wants the riders to be arrested. She was hesitant about using Foe's head for Project Algo and wasn't completely on board with the plan. She ended up being right since Foe uses Project Algo to turn the police force against her. Then she comes in for the save at the end of the game to do what she thinks is right. To talk about the post game real quick, you can actually meet Irene again in Person Hill where she gets jumped by the police still influenced by Project Algo. After helping her, she talks about how she wants to work in the anti-corruption division for the police and how she's growing tired of cleaning up the mess. She wants to do the right thing, and I love that. I'm glad that she turned out this way. The twist is definitely my favorite part of the story. It's a subversion of expectations. This whole time we thought we were Foe and we were trying to find our head. He was the guy we were playing as at the beginning of the game. We thought he was going to be the protagonist, and in a way, he thought he was going to be the protagonist too. However, that wasn't the case. The reveal of Red actually being Felix and Foe was the one who killed him was a really cool twist. Foe was just a petty kid upset that he didn't get what he wanted, so he decided to become a murderer. Roth really thinks he's Goro Akechi.
Why am I inferior to you? I was extremely particular about my life, my grades, my public image, so someone would want me around.
I do have my issues. There are characters that were very underdeveloped. Escher and Chief Burlag were wasted in my opinion. They could have done something a little more interesting with Escher since he's a cyberhead like Red, but he has no intention of wanting his old head back. He just follows orders. He shoots Red and then he gets killed by Vinyl in the same cutscene. They built up Chief Burlag to be an essential part of the story, only for him to get jobbed out by Foe for the twist. He was just a plot device. It's also a shame that DJ Cyber wasn't reinforced enough as an antagonist. He got a good introduction and his appearance at the end of the chapter 1 was really good. And I kinda wish he had more of an appearance to go against the Bomb Rush crew before switching sides in chapter 4. His plan to give Felix his memory back was ridiculous and his reasoning wasn't very sound. Of course, the disappointing thing is that the extra BRC members don't get anything special. The rival crews are actually pretty alright. Again, not super deep, but they're definitely a little more interesting than the ones in Jet Set Radio and in Jet Set Radio Future. However, the other BRC crew members like Rave, Mesh, Shine, Rise, and Coil, they don't get much. The benefit of Jet Set Radio Future was that you were able to talk to your teammates and get their opinions on events throughout the story. You get that with Trice, Red, Bell, Vinyl, and Solus, but everyone else, they only exist just to be swapped to, and that's pretty disappointing. They're essentially like the OG counterparts of the Jet Set Radio characters, which had little to no character to speak of. There are a select few members that do have some semblance of personality. You get to see a little bit of how Shine acts when you meet her. Her little side quest of dancing with her is very silly. From the way she talks and how she texts you, look at her little profile picture here, it's so goofy. She's all about chill vibes, and she's also very bratty from when you ask her to switch and when you say no to her. Rise having a focus on looking good for her social media page is such a fitting trait for her, especially when you first meet her in Pyramid Island and she essentially sees you as a nobody with no rep. She's like a fashionista girl. It's a bummer to see that the extra characters don't feel they're part of the Bomb Rush crew. It's like you're an imaginary stand-in. Overall, I'd still say that Bomb Rush Cyberfunk still ended up having a really fun story, entertaining characters, a decent narrative structure, and while it missed out on giving some characters more to do, I'd say it still accomplished its goal by having a more cohesive story by having a more active main cast. Definitely an element of the game I'm surprised ended up being really engaging. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and comment what you thought about it. If you're interested in seeing more of my content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification for my next videos and when I'm streaming. They also have a Twitter that you can follow in the description if you're interested in getting any updates from me or see what I'm doing IRL. If you also are interested in joining my membership, I have a membership which you can join and you get 4 emotes that you can use during my streams, and you can get early access to videos I'm working on. Thank you all for watching, and take care.